Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Lauren here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Jay, and he's selling his lead generation and display advertising business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Jay. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Wonderful. I'm really excited to have you on the show. I can't wait to learn more about your business. But before we dive in, I'm going to go over a brief summary of the business. This is a lead generation and display advertising business created in January 2019 in the home and automotive niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $8,662, and it makes an average of $8,598 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 58407 to learn more about the business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. The assets included in the sale are a primary domain and all site content and files, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, and Reddit social media accounts. Please note that buyers must currently have an approved AdSense account before purchasing this business to ensure a successful migration of the business. So now that we know more about the business, let's hear more about the seller. Jay, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, for sure. I've been doing SEO for quite a while now. I think about 6 years now. I am actually part of a company called LeadSpring where we buy and sell websites. So this is not a foreign industry for me. I took on this site, I think, if I'm not mistaken, January 2020, which was 2 years ago. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, wonderful. It certainly sounds like you've got a lot of experience under your belt. What drew you to this business in particular?
So this business was actually offered to me by a friend. And the reason why I chose this site, I don't normally work outside of LeadSpring, but I took on this personal project because it had a lot of really good qualities. For one, it's a lead gen site, which was a really interesting kind of, a little different industry in SEO, I would say, because we're mostly doing affiliate SEO. So I just wanted to try out lead gen, and that's why I took it on. It's actually a mass page site, which kind of made it a lot easier for me to cover as many cities and towns in as many of those areas as possible. And also, the best thing about the business that I really thought was super cool and made the whole idea of lead gen a lot easier was there's this company that we're affiliated with that covers the entire country. One is based in the UK. They cover the entire UK, which makes lead gen a lot easier because mostly lead gen, you'll have to sell leads to many different, companies to kind of make your revenue. But this one is just one huge company that covers the entire country. So we only needed to have one, which is great, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a great bonus point there. And it certainly sounds like you have a passion for the business. The business has a lot of potential. What are the reasons that you're selling it now?
Yeah, I don't really have much time to work on the site. I pretty much did the bare minimum from when I took on this site. I probably spent maybe a week total at most, in the last 2 years. So it doesn't really take much, but also when you own a business like this and you're not really constantly working on the site, you might as well just sell it, right? Because if you're not constantly putting in work on the site, then it might not stay consistent in terms of rankings or revenue. So I'm looking to sell this site to kind of just offload that. But yeah, it's a very, very easy site to manage.
Yeah, certainly. So this was your first foray into lead generation business model. Is there anything that you learned from this business that you would apply to any future sites or businesses that you work on?
I'd say the best or the most important thing that I kind of learned here is just to cover as many topics as possible. And in terms of this website, cover as many different cities as possible. The more you can cover, the more topical relevance you're going to have for that particular topic or your particular niche. So yeah, with this website, the main goal from the beginning was to research as much as possible, to get as many cities, to break them down to the smallest areas or cities or towns as possible and then try to cover everything and then write or create a page for each and every single one of those and build your topical relevance through that.
Yeah, that's great advice. Really good there. I'm sure there were some things that didn't quite go according to plan. If you had to go back and buy this business a second time around, is there anything that you would do differently?
Probably start display ads a lot sooner. That was a no-brainer for me. Like the site was actually getting a lot of traffic from when I took it on, it was probably getting around 50 visits a day. And within, say, 6 months, we probably 10x that traffic. That could have earned the site a lot more revenue by just having display ads after 6 months. Probably lost about, I don't know, a couple grand from there. But apart from that, I wouldn't say there's anything major that I missed from the beginning.
Yeah, you mentioned that, you boosted the traffic coming to the site. Where does the majority of the traffic come from? Do you do any marketing for the site?
Yeah, again, the traffic is mostly just organic traffic by just, simply targeting little towns and cities within the UK. As far as marketing goes, it's just SEO, building a lot of content on the site. And the other one is we just do outreach. We basically just reach out to similar sites, especially sites that are within the UK or at least have a .co.uk TLD. We try to target those, as many of those sites as possible, try to get links from them for free in exchange for actually valuable resources or information. And that's how this site, I'd say, really, started turning around by just getting a lot of those.
Yeah, sure. So, Jay, if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways that you would try and grow it further?
I'd say build a lot more content. Like right now, I don't really have the bandwidth to do more keyword research for content. That's a really big thing. Another thing would be link building. Like I just really haven't built too many links on this site since we first started. It's still a pretty low authority site considering everything. Yeah, definitely a lot more content is a huge low-hanging fruit here. Yeah, backlinks second. Number 3 would be just overall page design. Like I took on the site, it was a very basic site and the design's pretty basic. There's nothing really special about it. It doesn't look great either, but it converts okay. By having a better overall design that's more geared towards conversions would definitely benefit this one a lot more.
Yeah, that's a great shout. It sounds like there's a lot of potential there. You mentioned that it's quite a passive business. What sort of work do you need to do on the business in order to maintain it?
I do have a person that I mentor, so he does work for me for free. I just have him write normal blog posts. So we just do that. We probably just publish one every month or something just to keep it consistent. It doesn't really take much time, to be honest. Like my virtual assistant would just upload that. I'll just let them publish it and I'll just oversee things, make sure everything is okay. I think the most time that I spend on this site is actually just invoicing the main company every single month. And that's pretty much it. I literally just spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes a month on this site.
Yeah, I mean, that takes passive to a whole nother level. That's fantastic. For someone who's not familiar with, say, the lead generation business model, what skills or requirements would you say are needed to run this business successfully?
I'd say if you have an understanding of SEO, this is actually a very simple site to run because for one, like I said before, it's a mass page site. So the content mostly the same. So it's easy to tweak the content to optimize them. It's very, very easy to do. That's pretty much it. That's literally all you need to do. And then you just need to continue building more content. And it's just through keyword research, which most people can easily perform. If you don't know keyword research, there's a lot of YouTube videos that can teach you how to do keyword research. But yeah, like I said earlier, content is a pretty big part of the website that can really be, improved on. Yeah, all the skills that you need to run this site are pretty basic. You can pretty much outsource everything. You can just outsource the content to a company. You can outsource the link building and keep this site running, or not just running, but scale the site even more. So yeah, I'd say very, very basic skills required.
Yeah, fantastic. I think it's a good thing that it's very basic skills required. What would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
I actually can't think of any. To be honest, there's not much risks here in terms of the niche. It's a pretty stable niche. It's never going to go away. People are always going to need this kind of service. And it's also lead gen. Most lead gen niches aren't really affected too much with Google updates and stuff like that. So I think it's a pretty low risk website or niche to get into.
Great. Yeah, another wonderful selling point there. How much support are you willing to offer buyers to help ease the transition of the sale?
As much as needed.
Great. I'm sure buyers will be thrilled to hear that. Are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. And would you be willing to commit to a non-compete agreement?
100%.
Okay, great. So Jay, do you have any advice that you would give our listeners that you wish you knew when you first started out in SEO or in this site in particular?
I had like more bandwidth to take care of this site. I would definitely focus a lot more on the content, definitely research all of the big sites that are, because there's still a lot more room to grow for this site. There's a lot more keywords that we can, get to number one rankings. And I would just reverse engineer all the top rankers for those particular keywords and see why they're ranking well for those keywords. I would just look at their sites, look at relevant content that they might have that I don't, and then start covering all of those. And then that obviously takes a little bit more work that I'm willing to do right now. So yeah, that's probably the only big thing that I would really focus on. And yeah, of course, definitely get more backlinks to the site. It definitely could use a lot more links than what I've already built.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Why would you say that a content site is a great business model for those who are interested in starting their journey into online business?
Well, for this one in particular, I've already talked about content a lot, but just having more content, it'll just not only help the main money pages to rank better, but this is a site where we have display ads as well. So not only are those like new content pieces or new articles helping the main pages to rank better, but you're also able to earn more money by having display ads on those articles, right? If you're publishing, 50 blog posts a month that are relevant to the main money pages, not only are you helping that, but you're also having display ads on those 50 blog posts that you're creating per month, which could also increase the display ad revenue for the site. And yeah, like this site's actually making pretty decent money from just display ads. So I wouldn't skimp out on that one.
Yeah, certainly that compounding effect is very powerful. Great point there. So the final question of the interview, and probably the most important one, is if you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this business is a business worth buying?
For one, it's a very passive website. It doesn't really require much work. You can pretty much do what I'm doing right now, which is, hold on to the site, do the bare minimum and continue to get paid. But the best thing about it is if you have the bandwidth or if you have the resources to scale the site, then that's obviously the way to go because there's so much more room for this site to improve on. So yeah, like it's only scratching the surface, to be honest. Like the website's not really even ranking for the biggest terms just yet. So by getting that or by being able to rank for those terms, I can easily see this site being at least 3x of what it's earning right now. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more room to grow.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. I definitely think there's a lot of potential there. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners that I might have missed?
I don't think so. I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much for your time, Jay. It's been really great talking to you. I think we got some great insights into SEO and learned a lot about your business.
Awesome.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 58407. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.